Brandy welcomes you to Alex Cardinale Entertainment. Say hello, Brandy. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Welcome to a very special presentation of Alex Cardinale Entertainment.
This Thanksgiving, we celebrate connection, gratitude, and the beauty of giving. Thank you for being part of our journey.
Welcome to Keeping It Real with Alex Cardinale. Join us for a talk show like no other where the boundaries are limitless. Hosted by the dynamic and unfiltered Alex Cardinale, this is the place where anything and everything goes. What to expect? Controversial topics. Dive into discussions on current events, politics, tragedy, and more. Unfiltered opinions. Experience Alex's unique perspective on the world around us. Engage with us. We welcome your thoughts. Share your opinions in the comments and engage with our vibrant community. Why tune in? Diverse conversations. From history to the latest headlines, no subject is off-limits. Authentic insights. Hear Alex's real feelings and get ready to think differently. Interactive experience. Hit that like button and let your voice be heard. Presented by Alex Cardinale Entertainment. This is more than just a talk show. It's a place for open dialogue and fearless exploration. Don't miss out. Tune in and keep it real with us. Enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the return of Keeping It Real with me, Alex Cardinale. Keeping It Real is my talk show where I get to be unfiltered and I get to keep it real with you by sharing what I actually feel. Our return topic tonight is going to be comparing the last 20 years. We're going to learn what happened in 2005. We're going to learn what happened in 2015. And at the end of the show, we're going to talk about what happened this year in 2025. I figured this would be a good topic to bring back Keeping It Real with Alex Cardinale. Tonight, we're going to take a look at what the United States of America and the world was like 20 years ago, and then 10 years ago, and now. And we're also going to take a look at what happened in the world of sports 20 years ago and 10 years ago as well. All that and more. So as always, I hope you enjoyed the show. If you do enjoy the show, please smash that like button and post your thoughts on our topic today in the chat or in the comments. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to start by taking a look at what has happened over the last 20 years or so. So, the last 2 decades have been marked by significant events and developments across various spheres, including technology, politics, government, environment, and society. Here is a brief overview of what has transpired over the last 2 decades. Technological advancements, rise of the internet and social media. The 2000s saw the explosion of the internet with social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, revolutionizing communication and connectivity globally. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube are all now some of the most active and most used social media websites, and it has grown tremendously over the last 20 years. Smartphones and apps. The launch of the iPhone in 2007 transformed mobile technology, leading to the creation of a app-driven ecosystem that changed how we access information, shop, and interact. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. AI technology has progressed significantly, impacting industries such as healthcare, finance, and transportation. Political and global events. September 11 attacks. The attacks in 2001 led to significant geopolitical changes, including the war on terror and increased security measures worldwide. Global recession in 2008. The financial crisis had a profound impact on global economies, leading to reforms in banking and financial regulations. Brexit. The United Kingdom's 2016 referendum to leave the European Union has reshaped political and economic relationships in Europe. Environmental concerns. Climate change awareness. The last 2 decades have seen increased awareness and activism around climate change, leading to international agreements like the Paris Agreement in 2015. Natural disasters. Events such as Hurricane Katrina in 2005 and the 2011 Fukushima disaster have highlighted the need for disaster preparedness and environmental sustainability. So Hurricane Katrina was actually a devastating hurricane here in the United States of America 20 years ago. It pretty much devastated the state of Louisiana. It destroyed the city of New Orleans. It was one of the most horrific hurricanes that the United States of America has endured. Social changes, social movements. Movements like the Black Lives Matter and Me Too have brought issues of racial justice and gender equality to the forefront, driving societal change and policy reforms. LGBTQ rights. Significant progress has been made in the recognition of LGBTQ plus rights, including the legalization of same-sex marriage in many countries. Pandemic response. The COVID-19 pandemic emerging in 2019 has had a profound impact on global health systems, economies, and daily life. COVID was a nightmare. Speaking from firsthand experience, while I never got COVID during the pandemic, it was horrible. Places were shut down. You could not go out. A lot of businesses were closed. And it was an awful time to have employment during COVID as well. I'm glad COVID has kind of died down. This year, though, I got COVID, and we're technically not really in a pandemic anymore, but I healed quickly from COVID. So this year proved that COVID can be healed. It's not a disease that takes you, but it did take a lot of people's life back when it first started. All right, scientific discoveries, space exploration, achievements such as the landing of the Curiosity rover on Mars in 2012 and the first image of a black hole in 2019 have expanded our understanding of the universe. Genome editing, the development of CRISPR technology has revolutionized genetic research, opening up possibilities for disease treatment and prevention. These highlights capture some of the most defining moments and trends of the past 20 years, illustrating a period of rapid change and adaptation across the globe. What has happened in the world of sports for the last 20 years? That's a great question. In the past 2 decades, technology has significantly influenced American sports. From the use of advanced analytics in player performance evaluation to the implementation of instant replay systems, technology has transformed both the fan experience and the strategic aspect of sports. Data analytics have become a cornerstone in decision-making processes for teams across various leagues. American sports have increasingly become platforms for social and cultural movements. Athletes have used their platforms to advocate for social justice, environmental issues, and other causes. Notable examples include the NFL protest led by Colin Kaepernick and the widespread support for the Black Lives Matter movement across multiple sports leagues. But let's be honest, let's take a look at how it ended up for Colin Kaepernick. His protest led to him not getting hired by any NFL team. His NFL career is essentially over because of his protest. Globalization of American sports. American sports leagues such as the NBA and NFL have expanded their global reach. The NBA, in particular, has seen a significant increase in international players and viewership, making basketball a truly global sport. The NFL has also hosted regular season games in London and Mexico City to broaden its international appeal. Noteworthy achievements and milestones. NFL. The New England Patriots emerged as a dominant force in the NFL, winning multiple Super Bowls under the leadership of coach Bill Belichick and quarterback Tom Brady. The Kansas City Chiefs, led by quarterback Patrick Mahomes, have also become a powerhouse in recent years. The NBA witnessed the rise of super teams with the Miami Heat, Golden State Warriors, and Los Angeles Lakers achieving significant success. LeBron James solidified his legacy as one of the greatest players of all time, winning championships with different teams. The league also saw the tragic passing of Kobe Bryant in 2020, an event that deeply affected the basketball community. MLB, Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball experienced a resurgence in home runs, highlighted by players like Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. The Houston Astros sign stealing scandal in 2017 was a significant controversy, leading to discussions about ethics and integrity in sports. NHL. The NHL expanded with introductions of new teams like the Vegas Golden Knights and Seattle Kraken. The Washington Capitals and St. Louis Blues achieved historic Stanley Cup victories, each winning their first title in franchise history. Women's sports have gained increased recognition and support over the past 2 decades. The U.S. women's national soccer team won multiple Women's World Cup titles and became advocates for gender equality and equal pay. Women's basketball and other sports have also seen growth in viewership and sponsorship. Conclusion. The last 20 years in American sports have been marked by technological advancements, social movements, and exciting achievements across various leagues. As sports continue to evolve, they remain a vital part of American culture and society, reflecting broader changes and inspiring global audiences. And that is what happened over the last 20 years in the world of sports. Right now, let's find out what happened in the last 20 years right here in the United States of America. So, what happened in the past 20 years in America? The Affordable Care Act 2010, also known as Obamacare, this landmark healthcare reform aimed to reduce the number of uninsured Americans. The 2016 presidential election. Donald Trump's election marked a significant shift in U.S. politics, with his administration focusing on immigration reform and deregulation. Social movements. Movements like Black Lives Matter and Me Too gained momentum, highlighting racial injustice and gender inequality. 2020's COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic dramatically affected public health and the economy, leading to unprecedented government stimulus measures. 2020 presidential election. Joe Biden was elected, focusing on pandemic response, climate change, and rebuilding international relations. Capitol riots 2021. Supporters of Donald Trump stormed the U.S. Capitol in an attempt to overturn the 2020 election results, leading to a second impeachment for Donald Trump. Economic developments. Great Recession 2007 to 2009. Triggered by the housing market collapse, this period saw significant economic downturns and led to major financial reforms. Tech boom. Companies like Apple, Google, and Amazon have grown immensely, revitalizing technology and consumer habits. Rise of gig economy. Platforms like Uber and Airbnb emerged, changing the landscape of work and travel. Social and cultural changes. Same sex marriage. In 2015, the Supreme Court legalized same sex marriage nationwide, a significant milestone for the LGBTQ community. Democratic shifts. Increasing diversity has shaped cultural and political dynamics, with growing Hispanic and Asian populations. Climate change awareness. Environmental issues have gained importance with the United States rejoining the Paris Agreement under Biden. Scientific and technological advancements. Space exploration. NASA's Mars missions and SpaceX's advancements have renewed interest in space exploration. Social media influence. Platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram have transformed communication and marketing. Medical advancements. Innovations in genetics and biotechnology, such as CRISPR, have opened up new frontiers in medicine. Over the past 2 decades, the United States has navigated significant challenges and changes, shaping its current status as a global leader in politics, economics, and culture. And that is what has happened over the last 20 years in the world of sports and in the United States of America. Coming up next, we're going to find out what happened in the last 20 years all around the world. But first, it's time for me to invite you to be part of this Saturday's Cajun Turkey Saturday with Alex Cardinale. Here's what's going down this Saturday on our flagship program. Get ready to try Cajun turkey, proudly presented by Popeyes. Cajun Turkey Saturday with Alex Cardinale will air Saturday, November 15th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. It's a Saturday that kicks off a new era. Join Alex Cardinale as he reviews Cajun turkey from Popeyes. Plus, get facts on Popeyes, and Alex will preview the Buccaneers versus Bills Week 11 game. Plus, learn about the green spotted puffer as the Aqua Alex featured fish. Learn about the deer as the animal of the world, and everything you need to get ready for Thanksgiving. Don't miss Cajun Turkey Saturday with Alex Cardinale, presented by Popeyes, live Saturday, November 15th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, right here on Alex Cardinale Entertainment, YouTube, and Instagram. All right, right now let's take a look what has happened around the world the last 20 years. Middle East conflicts. Now, the Iraq War began in 2003, leading to long-term impacts on regional stability. The Arab Spring in 2010 sparked a series of uprisings across the Arab world, leading to political changes and ongoing conflicts in countries like Syria, Libya, and Yemen. United States politics. The United States of America saw significant political shifts, including the election of its first African American president, Barack Obama, in 2008, and later a decisive presidency under Donald Trump from 2017 to 2021. Brexit. The United Kingdom voted to leave the European Union in 2016, leading to years of negotiations and a final exit in January of 2020. Economic developments, global recession. The 2008 financial crisis had a profound impact on global economies, leading to widespread unemployment and economic downturns. Rise of China. China emerged as a global economic powerhouse, becoming the world's second largest economy and, expanding its influence through initiatives like the Belt and Road. Tech boom. The rise of tech giants, including Apple, Google, Amazon, and Facebook, reshaped economies and industries worldwide. Social movements. Climate change activism. Awareness and activism around climate change grew significantly, with movements like Fridays for Future, led by Greta Thunberg, gaining global traction. Social justice. Movements such as Black Lives Matter, which gained momentum in 2013, highlighted issues of racial injustice and inequality. Technological advancements. Smartphone revolution. The proliferation of smartphones transformed communication, business, and daily life. AI and automation. Advancements in artificial intelligence and automation have revolutionized industries, raising discussions about the future of work. Space exploration. Private companies like SpaceX, alongside national space agencies, have advanced space exploration, culminating in endeavors like Mars rover landings. Health and pandemics. COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic began in late 2019, had unprecedented health, economic, and social impacts, leading to global lockdowns, vaccine development, and ongoing public health challenges. And finally, environmental concerns. Natural disasters. The frequency and intensity of natural disasters, such as hurricanes, wildfires, and floods, have increased, often attributed to climate change. Sustainability efforts. There have been a growing emphasis on sustainability and renewable energy as nations and corporations seek to mitigate environmental impacts. These events highlight the complexity and interconnectivity of global developments over the past 20 years, reflecting a world in constant evolution. And that is what happened over the last 20 years. And now this part of the episode is going to turn to highlights over each individual year. So right now, we're going to take a look at what happened in 2005, 2015, and 2025. So right now, let's start with what happened in 2025, shall we? Here are the highlights from 2005. So here are the highlights from 2005. And we'll start with the United States. In the United States of America, the year 2005 was notable for several significant events in the United States, spanning from natural disasters to cultural milestones. Here are some of the key highlights from 2005. Natural disasters. Hurricane Katrina. One of the most devastating events of 2005 was Hurricane Katrina. Striking the Gulf Coast in late August, Katrina caused catastrophic damage, particularly in New Orleans, Louisiana. The hurricane led to widespread flooding, extensive property damage, and a tragic loss of life. The federal response was heavily criticized, and the disaster highlighted issues in emergency management and preparedness. Sports highlights. The New England Patriots emerged victorious in Super Bowl 39, held on February 6, 2005. The game took place at Jacksonville's Attell Stadium in Florida, where the Patriots defeated the Philadelphia Eagles with a score of 24 to 21. This win marked the Patriots' third Super Bowl victory in 4 years, solidifying their status as a dominant team in the NFL. World Series. In the realm of Major League Baseball, the Chicago White Sox made history by winning the 2005 World Series. They defeated the Houston Astros in a 4-game sweep, securing their first championship in over 100 years since 1917. The victory was a monumentous occasion for the team and its fans, ending an 88-year championship drought. And I was kidding about over the 100 years. Obviously, it was only 88 years. But the Chicago White Sox won the World Series in 2005. So the New England Patriots won the Super Bowl in 2005, and the White Sox won the World Series in 2005. Political events from 2005. Second inauguration of President George W. Bush. In January of 2005, President George W. Bush was inaugurated for his second term in office. His administration faced numerous challenges, including ongoing military operations in Iraq and Afghanistan, as well as domestic issues related to health care and Social Security. Cultural milestones. YouTube launched. 2005 also marked the launch and creation of YouTube, a platform that would revitalize how people share and consume video content online, hence where I am today. 20 years ago in 2005, YouTube was created. It was founded in February of 2005 by Steve Chen, Chad Hurley, and Jawed Khurram. YouTube quickly grew in popularity and has since become a cornerstone of internet culture. Entertainment. The entertainment industry saw several notable releases in 2005, including the film Brokeback Mountain. Brokeback Mountain received critical acclaim and sparked conversations about LGBTQ representation in media. Additionally, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, the sixth book in the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling, captivated readers around the world. These events, among others, shaped the landscape of the United States in 2005, leaving a lasting impact on the nation's history and culture. And here are highlights from 2005 from around the world. Natural disasters. Hurricane Katrina, we talked about this a few moments ago, but Hurricane Katrina struck the Gulf Coast of the United States in August 2005, causing catastrophic damage, particularly in New Orleans, Louisiana. The hurricane resulted in over 18,000 deaths and displaced hundreds of thousands of residents. The disaster highlighted issues with emergency preparedness and response. Earthquake in Kashmir. In October 2005, a devastating earthquake hit the Kashmir region, affecting both Pakistan and India. The earthquake measured 7.6 on the Richter scale and resulted in the death of approximately 86,000 people, leaving millions more homeless. Political events. Election of Angela Merkel. In November 2005, Angela Merkel became the Chancellor of Germany, making history as the first woman to hold this position. Her election marked a significant political shift, and she would go on to become one of the world's most influential leaders. The Kyoto Protocol. The Kyoto Protocol international treaty aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions came into force in February of 2005. This marked a significant step in global efforts to address climate change, although the United States famously did not ratify the agreement. Technological advancements. YouTube launch. YouTube was launched in February 2005, revolutionizing how people share and consume video content online. It quickly became a major platform for entertainment, news, and education, fundamentally changing the media landscape. Introduction of the Xbox 360. Microsoft released the Xbox 360 in November 2005, setting new standards for gaming consoles with its advanced graphics and online capabilities. It became a cornerstone in the gaming industry, competing closely with Sony's PlayStation 3 and Nintendo's Wii. Cultural highlights: the release of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. J.K. Rowling's sixth book in the Harry Potter series was released in July 2005. It broke sales records and continued the global phenomenon surrounding the Wizarding world, captivating readers of all ages. The death of Pope John Paul II. Pope John Paul II passed away in April of 2005 after serving as head of the Catholic Church for 27 years. His death was mourned worldwide, and he was succeeded by Pope Benedict after his death. These events represent just a snapshot of the significant occurrences in 2005, a year marked by both challenges and advancements across the globe. Now, you guys know I'm a huge WWE professional wrestling fan, so let's take a look at some of the highlights from WWE in 2005. At WrestleMania 21, we saw an incredible classic match between Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle, and the main event of WrestleMania 21, 20 years ago, was Triple H versus Batista for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then at SummerSlam 2005, we had Shawn Michaels battling Hulk Hogan, the battle of the showstopper and the icon Hulk Hogan. And that is highlights from 2005, 20 years ago. And now we're going to take a look at highlights from 10 years ago in just 1 second. But I do want to invite everyone to my Thanksgiving Day broadcast, airing live Thanksgiving Day, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. And that is being brought to you by our flagship program, Saturday with Alex Cardinale. Here is what you can expect this Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving from yours truly, Alex Cardinale. I'm excited to announce Saturday with Alex Cardinale proudly presents Thanksgiving Day 2025 with Alex Cardinale live on Thanksgiving morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. Come join me, Alex Cardinale, as I get you ready for the big turkey day this year with a very special Thanksgiving Day with Alex Cardinale live stream. Get some delicious last-minute Thanksgiving dinner tips and tricks. Get some delicious turkey cooking tips from Chef Alex. Plus, Chef Alex will give you leftover turkey ideas. I, Alex Cardinale, will preview NFL on Thanksgiving Day. Get Thanksgiving jokes and a whole lot more. Saturday with Alex Cardinale proudly presents Thanksgiving Day with Alex Cardinale. Lives on Thanksgiving Day, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, right here on YouTube channel, Alex Cardinale Entertainment. All right, let's take a look at what happened 10 years ago around the United States, the world of sports, and around the world. And we'll start with the United States. Here's what happened in the United States 10 years ago in 2015. Supreme Court legalizes same-sex marriage. On June 26, 2015, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in Obergefell versus Hodges that same-sex marriage is a constitutional right across the United States. This landmark decision was a monumental victory for LGBTQ rights activists and fundamentally changed the legal landscape of marriage in the country. Affordable Care Act upheld. In another significant ruling, the Supreme Court upheld a key provision of the Affordable Care Act on June 25th, ensuring that federal subsidies would remain available to Americans purchasing health care through federally run exchanges. Social and cultural milestones. Charleston church shooting. On June 17th, a tragic mass shooting occurred at the Emanuel Methodist Church in Charleston, South Carolina. A white supremacist gunman killed 9 African American churchgoers during a Bible study session, sparking nationwide discussions on race relations and gun control. Black Lives Matter movement. The Black Lives Matter movement gained momentum in 2015, addressing issues of systematic racism and police brutality. Protests and demonstrations occurred across the country, highlighting the deaths of unnamed African Americans, including Freddie Gray in Baltimore and Walter Scott in South Carolina. Economic and environmental developments. Economic growth. The U.S. economy continued to recover from the Great Recession, showing signs of improvement with a decrease in the unemployment rate. By the end of 2015, the unemployment rate had fallen to 5%, the lowest since April of 2008. Paris Climate Agreement. In December, the United States played a critical role in brokering the Paris Agreement, an international record aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions and combating climate change. This agreement marked a significant step in global environmental policy. Technological and scientific advances. NASA's New Horizons Pluto flyby. On July 14, 2015, NASA's New Horizons spacecraft made a historic flyby of Pluto, providing humanity's first close-up images of the dwarf planet and its moons. The missions expanded our understanding of the outer solar system. Rise of streaming services. 2015 saw a significant shift in media consumption as streaming services like Netflix and Amazon Prime gained popularity, changing how Americans watch television and movies and challenging traditional cable networks. These events, among others, contributed to a transformative year for the United States, reflecting both progress and challenges in various arenas. Well, coming up next here on Keeping It Real with Alex Cardinale, we're going to take a look at the world of sports in 2015, and we'll take a look at what happened around the world in 2015. But first, I want to invite you to Black Friday with Alex Cardinale, also being presented by Saturday with Alex Cardinale. Get ready for the official start of Christmas. The official start of Christmas is Black Friday. Saturday with Alex Cardinale is proud to present Black Friday 2025 with Alex Cardinale, airing live Black Friday, November 29th, 2025, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, on YouTube channel Alex Cardinale Entertainment. Join me, Alex Cardinale, live on Black Friday for a very special Christmas-themed episode. Learn about the biggest and best Black Friday deals of the year. Learn why you should support small businesses. Learn about the NFL Black Friday game and get a complete recap between the Eagles and Bears. Plus, Aqua Alex will discuss a Christmas-themed fish and a whole lot more. It's going to be a fun Black Friday. So, come join Alex Cardinale after your Black Friday shopping on Black Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, for Black Friday with Alex Cardinale. All right, let's take a look at the world of sports from 10 years ago. Super Bowl 49 between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. So remember, the New England Patriots won Super Bowl 39 10 years prior by beating the Philadelphia Eagles 24-21. Well, now 10 years later in 2015, the New England Patriots take on the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl 49. And the Patriots beat the Seahawks 28-24 in Super Bowl 49, which took place on February 1st, 2015. And it was held in the University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Super Bowl 49 was an unforgettable clash that saw the New England Patriots claim victory over the Seattle Seahawks. The game is particularly remembered for Malcolm Butler's game-saving interception at the goal line in the final moments. I remember Super Bowl 49 the most because it was the very first bet I've ever made. It was the very first sports bet that I ever made, and it was a bet that I won. So I won a couple $100 from this bet in 2015 from a good friend of mine. So that's how I remember Super Bowl 49. I was cheering for the Patriots, even though I can't stand the Patriots, and he was cheering for the Seattle Seahawks, and I ended up winning a couple $100 in that bet, so that was great. In the World Series, the Kansas City Royals won the 2015 World Series. They defeated the New York Mets. And it was a 4-1 series victory for the Kansas City Royals. The clinching game date was November 1st, 2015. The Kansas City Royals captured their first World Series title in 30 years by defeating New York Mets. The Royals showcased resiliency and tenacity throughout the series, culminating in a decisive Game 5 victory. NBA Finals. The winner was the Golden State Warriors. Their opponent was the Cleveland Cavaliers. Series result 4-2, and the Finals MVP was Andre Iguodala. The Golden State Warriors, led by Stephen Curry and Finals MVP Andre Iguodala, secured their first NBA championship in 40 years, overcoming LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. NHL Stanley Cup Finals. The Chicago Blackhawks won the NHL Stanley Cup Finals in 2015 by beating the Tampa Bay Lightning. Series result 4-2. The Chicago Blackhawks captured their third Stanley Cup in 6 seasons, defeating the Tampa Bay Lightning. Duncan Keith was awarded the Conn Smythe Trophy as the playoff MVP, was instrumental in their success. College football playoff national championship. The Ohio State Buckeyes defeated the Oregon Ducks 42-20 on January 12, 2015. And that is what happened in the world of sports from 2015. And now we're going to take a look at highlights from around the world 10 years ago in 2015. Paris Climate Agreement. In December 2015, world leaders gathered in Paris for COP21, where they reached a landmark agreement to combat climate change. The Paris Agreement aimed to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Syrian refugee crisis. The ongoing civil war in Syria led to a massive humanitarian crisis with millions fleeing the country. The influx of refugees into Europe sparked a debate on immigration policies and humanitarian responsibilities worldwide. Charlie Hebdo attack. In January, a terrorist attack on the French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo in Paris resulted in the deaths of 12 people. The attack highlighted issues of freedom of expression and the threat of terrorism in Europe. U.S.-Cuba relations. The United States and Cuba announced a thaw in relations, with embassies reopening in both countries for the first time since 1961. This marked a significant shift in diplomatic relations in the Western Hemisphere. Scientific and technological advances. New Horizons Pluto flyby. NASA's New Horizons spacecraft made its closest approach to Pluto in July 2015, providing humanity's first close-up images and data of the dwarf planet, revealing its complex and fascinating surface. Cultural moments. Caitlyn Jenner's transition. Formerly known as Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner's public transition brought transgender issues into the spotlight, contributing to broader discussions on gender identity and acceptance. So, from Bruce Jenner to Caitlyn Jenner, he is now a tranny. Anyway, moving forward. Star Wars The Force Awakens. The release of this highly anticipated movie in December of 2015 marked the return of the beloved Star Wars franchise, becoming a massive box office success and a cultural phenomenon. Economic developments. China's stock market turmoil. In mid 2015, China's stock market experienced significant volatility, leading to a sharp decline in stock prices. This economic event had global repercussions affecting markets nationwide. Iran, Iran nuclear deal. An agreement was reached between Iran and six world powers, including the U.S., to limit Iran's nuclear program in exchange for the lifting of economic sanctions, marking a pivotal moment in international diplomacy. The events of 2015 had lasting impacts across the globe, influencing political landscapes, scientific advancements, and cultural dialogues. And that is what happened 10 years ago around the world, the United States, in the world of sports. In WWE, 2015 saw the icon, the vigilante Sting, make his WWE debut. Sting competed at WrestleMania 31 in a loss against Triple H. And then Sting had a match for the WWE Championship against Seth Rollins, where he got injured, unfortunately, and he had to leave WWE after that injury. 2015 also saw the rise of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns would go on to win the Royal Rumble that year and his first WWE Championship at Survivor Series 2015. And now we are moving to this year. We are moving to current times, 2025. But before we get to 2025, I want to remind everyone that I am on Cameo. So if you need a specialized video message customized just for you, I'm happy to make a Cameo for you. The QR code on top of the screen right now is what you can take a picture of and open, and you can go to my Cameo to check out my offerings. I can do birthday greetings, special occasion greetings. I can do a customized shout out video for you, a tropical fish video, whatever your heart desires. Here is some more information on Cameo. Hey everyone, Alex Cardinale here, or you may know me as Aqua Alex, Chef Alex, Detective Alex, or WWE fan Alex. Either way, I am on Cameo, and I would love to make a cameo for you. Whether it be a birthday greeting, a special occasion, whether you're celebrating an anniversary or a milestone, I would be honored to make a video for your anniversary or your milestone. I could also do cooking videos. I can also do wrestling videos. I can also do fish keeping videos for you. Check me out on Cameo, cameo.com/Aqua Alex Cardinale. I'd be happy to make you a cameo. Alright, now let's check out some highlights from this year. What has gone down in the world in the United States this year so far? Donald Trump was sworn in as the 47th President of the United States of America. Thank God we have Donald Trump as President. The Philadelphia Eagles win Super Bowl 59. The Eagles won the Super Bowl by decimating the Kansas City Chiefs. It was awesome seeing the Kansas City Chiefs lose to the Philadelphia Eagles because remember, going into Super Bowl 59, the Chiefs were saying you're going to have a three-peat. Well, they did not have a three-peat. They got destroyed by the Philadelphia Eagles. In this year's World Series, it was the Toronto Blue Jays looking to win the World Series for the first time in 30 years against the LA Dodgers. Unfortunately, karma came to bite the Blue Jays and Vladdy in the ass because the Dodgers won the World Series. Congratulations to the LA Dodgers for beating the Toronto Blue Jays in this year's World Series. Israel-Hamas conflict. A ceasefire in Gaza was established after a prolonged conflict that began in October 2023. United Kingdom. A man was charged with 10 counts of attempted murder following a train attack that injured 11 people. In China, Two of China's most popular gay dating apps were removed from app stores. Australia. Bees with devil-like horns were discovered and named Lucifer. Wildlife Sanctuary. A wildlife sanctuary euthanized its elderly lions after closing down. Also, this year, we had the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Now, Charlie Kirk was a political speaker who was someone that I did not know particularly well. I know that he had a podcast, and I watched a couple of his episodes. But because I'm not a big political guy, I'm not a guy big into politics, I wasn't really fond of Charlie Kirk. I mean, he looked like a very nice guy. He looked like a nice guy, a guy that I would enjoy having a cup of soda or a beer with and having a nice conversation. He seemed very intellectual, very kind, and very humble. That's someone that I like. So he seemed like a very genuine, good guy. Now, he had some political opinions that might have upset some people. I personally agreed with some of his opinions, like the same-sex thing, like the transgender thing. I agree with him on that. But should he have been assassinated? Absolutely not. But on our next episode of Keeping It Real, we're going to talk about the Charlie Kirk assassination in detail, and I'm going to share my unfiltered thoughts on the assassination of Charlie Kirk. But this year, unfortunately, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Also, we had the death of some legends this year. We had the death of Ozzy Osbourne, who is a really good musician. And we had the death of the guy that made professional wrestling what it is today. The immortal Hulk Hogan died. What you gonna do, brother? Well, he passed away this year, unfortunately. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, Ozzy Osbourne, and Hulk Hogan. And that is highlights from 2025. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the return of Keeping It Real with Alex Cardinale. I had a blast hosting this return episode. I hope you learned a lot about the last 20 years. On our next episode of Keeping It Real with Alex Cardinale, we're going to talk about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. With that being said, I want to thank everyone for watching this amazing episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please smash that like button, and please share this episode so your friends can see it as well. Until next time, have a great rest of your day. Alex Cardinale logging off from Port St. Lucie, and I will see you on the next episode of Keeping It Real. Thank you for watching this episode of Alex Cardinale Entertainment. I hope you enjoyed the video. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
This Thanksgiving, we celebrate connection, gratitude, and the beauty of giving. Thank you for being part of our journey.